Question 17. The table gives information about the results of matches a football team played. So you've got won 28, drawn 12, lost 20. Draw an accurate pie chart to show this information. Okay, so an accurate pie chart. To do that, we need to work out the angles. Now the first thing you need to do is find out the total frequency. So your total frequency, I'll just work out down the bottom. The total frequency is given by 28 added to the 12 added to the 20. If I just add that up, I've got 28 plus 2 makes 30 plus 10 makes 40 plus the 20 gives me a total of 60, which is very nice. Now, what we've got to do now is we've got to find out what fraction of a complete turn these would represent. So a complete turn we know is 360 degrees. So for the first one, I have 28 over 60 times 360. Now fortunately, if I'll do the calculation down the bottom, 28 over 60 times by 360, I know that 60 will go into 360 6 times. So I'm left with actually having to work out what 28 multiplied by 6 is, which isn't particularly nice. So you could use a variety of methods. You might want the grid method or the Chinese method. I'll do this very quickly. 6 times 8 is 48. So I remember the 8, I'll just remember the 4 down there. 6 times the 2, which stands for 20, is 120, plus the 4 gives me 168. So my answer to the first one there would be 168. But to save me a bit of working, there's something here which is very handy. You'll notice here that the 360 divided by 60 gives me 6. So as each of the ones appears, so you have 12 over 60, you'd have 20 over 60. So just to save a bit of time, I'm going to have 12 over 60 times by 360, but that is the same as 12 times 6, which gives me 72. And finally, I've got 20 over 60 times by 360, which is the same as 20 times by 6, which gives me 120. Okay, now you've worked out the angles. Now you've got to accurately draw it. Unfortunately, I haven't actually got the ability on here to draw it using a protractor. You would put your protractor on here and you would measure round to 168. So you start at 0 and you count up until you get to 168. So your first one would look something like that, which I would label as 1. Then you move your protractor onto this line here, line up the 0 again, and this time I'm going to look at the 72. So I'd start at 0 and I'd go round to about 72, which would be somewhere around about that. Put 72 in the middle, put drawn, and then just as a check, put your protractor there, start at 0 again and go round, and that should give me 120, which is lost. So there's your accurate diagram, which obviously you'd be better with a ruler and a protractor, and that was where you get the marks. Okay, talking about marks, where do they award the marks? Right, there is 1 mark for evidence of finding at least one angle. There is 2 marks for accurately drawing the angles onto there, and there is 1 mark for the labels in here. Okay, so that's how the 4 marks are made up.